Check out your man.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Eagle's Nest, here is Joe Madison.
And I'm in here with Spike Lee, and I'm gonna we put
pleasure to be here.
No, my pleasure. Now,
my pleasure.
Let me tell you. I want to get right to this.
Let's get to it, baby.
All right. So all I knew about this movie,
Chi-Raq.
all I knew about Chi-Raq was Chi-Raq. All I knew was the people in Chicago. Some were pissed, including the mayor. That's pretty much all I knew about it. I didn't know if it was a documentary. I didn't know if it was a musical. I didn't know anything. So I went in with open mind.
That's always a good thing.
I went in open mind. Here's what I'm gonna go down the notes I made, because after we saw the movie, all these, and I'm not a movie critic,
right.
So all these movie critics are sitting around me, right? And well, what did you think? What do you think? Oh, yeah, I'll talk to my man on Friday, and y'all have to wait. So I said I have to process it.
Mm-hmm. So
this is what look. First of all, I said this could be not just Chi-Raq. It could be D-Raq.
Right.
It could be Baltimore.
Well, they have names already. Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia.
It could be any of those cities.
Right, but Chicago is the canary in the coal mine.
Why?
People Chicago's had a long gang culture. So Chicago is America's biggest segregated city. The disparity between the haves and have-nots, all these things contribute to that.
Second thing I processed, man, it had every, and I say this not in a negative way, every stereotype that you could, at any point in time, you would see in urban America.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from pull up your pants to the insurance salesman to the police officer. What was the process that you went through? What were you attempting to you and the other creators were attempting to do?
Well, Kevin Wilmot and I co-wrote the script, and the original source is a play written way back in 411 BC by the great Greek playwright Aristophanes. The play called Lysistrata is about a group of women led by Lysistrata who organized a sex strike to stop the war. And we took Kevin Wilmot and I took that premise and moved it to present day Chicago South Side.
You caught my attention when you started listing the
grim facts.
The grim facts of folks who have been killed throughout this planet, and how Chicago topped that list. And I did write this down, and I'm on Sirius XM, so I can say it. I would, if I had to rename it, it would have been Pussy Power. I mean, But there, as you say, there's a playwright, but then there was contemporary history that showed how effective a movement like this could be.
Yes, there's a Liberian woman. Her name is Lima Guabi, who in I think 2004 won the Nobel Peace Prize for using this tactic.
Where women just simply cut off men from sex.
Yes, and she's using that tactic. She won Nobel Peace Prize. They shut it down, and it stopped the second civil war in Liberia. And there's a woman now in Chicago who's trying to start a sex strike too now.
Now this goes to the other thing about how art can. People often say art imitates life, but then we talked about this in the last hour, Spike. That sometimes art can create a movement.
Yes, and that's the great thing about art, and that's something I've always felt, that great art can be impactful and move people forward, or if it's not that good, it can move people backwards. So,
Birth of a Nation maintained this thing.
Yes,
but it didn't move them backwards. It just kept that racism going forward.
Right, but we feel everybody connected with this film. We knew that we knew, we hope, we pray that when it comes out, will help save lives.
Well, I heard Samuel Jackson. I was looking at a YouTube piece yesterday, and it was Samuel Jackson, Wesley Snipes, and Denzel Washington at the Governor's.
Yes, they presented me. They all three presented me.
They were off the hook. But the one thing that they said, I think it was Samuel Jackson, was that Spike Lee pisses everybody off. You know what? And I say that affectionately because, I mean, you stepped on everybody's corns, man. And you know, you stepped on everybody. And we when I was processing this movie, and Sherry mentioned this, we didn't see black preachers in the movie.
Well, the character that you see in the film is based upon the real life Father Michael Flager.
We've had him on the show.
Who I feel is a living saint.
Why?
What he's doing to save lives. Can you imagine you have a white Roman Catholic priest who has a church on the south side of Chicago, St. Sabina, that's all black, and he's been there for 41 years? I mean, he's going toe-to-toe with the NRA daily. I mean, he's trying to save lives he's just a great man.
And even I remember him when he went up on billboards because of the excessive liquor and cigarettes and that type of thing.
He's for the people.
And then you had also the fratricide. This is again something we talk about here on the Madison show.
We're killing each other.
You know, personal responsibility and public policy. I processed that. You have public policy because we black folk always talk about, oh, I don't want to vote, I don't want to do this. But there was public policy issue. I mean, even, as humorous as some of it was with the mayor, the police, that's public policy.
Right.
You got and the eulogy was a speech on public policy.
Yes.
But then it ended up
a great performance by John Cusack too.
I mean, Mac. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. That is a script. That monologue, I would take that and make it into a speech. I mean.